Hi, this is Julie Isaac, certified Zentangle teacher, here to show you the steps for Wayvn, new tangle called Wayvn. I'm going to start with a wavy line, peaks and valleys. They don't need to be even. They do need to be like a little bit deep, a little bit tall. It'll make it much easier. You'll see why. That's the first step. This is a little bit like rambles, and you'll see why in the next step, actually. But for this step, we're gonna envision a line or a tunnel, perhaps a thread going through these mountains. And to do that, the second step of the step out, we look for the valleys. So here's my first valley. I'm going to put my finger over that one for the moment. Here's the first full valley. And I'm just going to draw a line partway through. So I'm going to skip a little gap. I'm going to leave a little gap. And then I'm going to draw a line. And I'm going to aura that. Okay, and you can think of that as like a thread or a tunnel. And I'm going to give it a little lid or a little hat. Okay, so I made a tunnel, a set of oared lines bumping into this mountain. I'm going to come into the next valley. Do it a tiny bit different this time. Same exact idea, just showing you alternatives. So here's the valley. I want to skip a little gap. And then I want to create a tunnel. So I can put the lid there first. And then draw my first line. And then aura it. Okay, so it doesn't matter how you think of it. But, whether you draw this little bit first or after the fact, it doesn't matter. We've created like a thread going partway through the valley, and we're going to do that again right here. Here's the next valley. I'm going to leave a little gap, and I'm going to draw a line, give it an aura, and a little end cap. I also have this partial valley over here. I think I have to imagine the line starts somewhere out here, and then comes across and bumps in to that. And then the little end cap is somewhere over there. So that was maybe the hardest part. So if you've done that, you've done great. The next thing, keeping the tile in the same direction. This is where it's a little bit like rambles. We're going to do an S curve. And the S is going to start at the top of the mountain. It's going to go behind the tunnel, and it's going to curve into the valley. So here's how it goes. From the top of the mountain, hollabaw behind, I pick up my pen, S curve into the valley. Do it again. Here's the top of the mountain, behind, pick up my pen, S at the bottom. One more time. From the top of the mountain, bumping into the tunnel, and an S at the bottom. So it does depend on, if you're holding your tile this way or that way. If it was difficult for some people to see, maybe it had to do with the directionality. So keeping your tile, thinking of it as mountains and valleys. The next thing we need to do is put an aura underneath the whole entire landscape here. I'm not going to worry about keeping it even. I'm going to let it be wobbly and wonky when it wants to be. Or, if you want to keep yours really even, go ahead and do that. I don't like the pressure of making it perfect, so I let it be imperfect. So I've just auraed the whole entire thing. And now I'm going to reverse the tile and repeat what we've already done. So I'm going to turn it completely upside down. and we're going to do what we did before. We're going to come to the first valley. We're going to skip a little gap. And we're going to draw a line. We're going to let it match up kind of when we can, as best we can, and aura it. Make sure it has a little end cap. I'm going to come to the next valley. Skip a little gap. Maybe start with the end cap and let the lines kind of match up to what's happening on opposite side. One more valley to go. Skipping a gap. And we've added to our tunnels. Next is the S curves. We're going to repeat the process that we've already done, starting at the top, creating an S that goes behind and curves into the valley. So from the top of the mountain, go behind and down into the valley. Now, sometimes you have space issues. If it gets narrow, just do whatever you have to do. Starting from the top, going behind, curving at the bottom. So, like if it's really narrow and you can't get it behind or you can't get it to do whatever you can do. Just do whatever you can do. There's no real wrong here. But you know what the goal is? To try and get this kind of tethered aura kind of going in each curve. So, that's the entire tangle Wayvn. And I'll take a second to show you how I would shade it. So, and I'm going to do it quickly, and this is just a suggestion on how you might shade it. Coming into each of these little points from the S curve, above and below, just putting a little graphite in. Here we go again, back in the curve, above and below, above and below. Here's the next one, above and below. Just putting a little dab. And then I'll take my blender, just spread it out a tiny bit. This is quick and dirty. If you're really doing this in your tangle practice, of course, you'd take more time. And then we want to think about this tunnel or this thread and how it's going under and through, and wherever it's going into something or below something or through something, just like we learn in Hollabaugh, we give it a little dab on either side. A little dab of graphite there and there and there and there. Don't forget the edges. And then we'll just give that just the tiniest little smudge with the blender. And that is the tangle Wayvn. Thanks for watching.